Hey everyone, you know that incredible burst of inspiration you get sometimes? The one that makes you think, that's it. I'm going to learn a new language, get super fit, start a business, and I'm going to do it all like right now. But what happens a week later when that feeling is just gone? Well, today we're diving into a powerful story that shows what really fuels success long after that initial motivation has faded away.
It's such a frustrating cycle, isn't it? That initial high of motivation feels like it could power you through anything. But let's be real, that feeling never seems to last. So what's the deal? What's the secret sauce that separates the people who burn out from the ones who actually cross the finish line?
And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. See, motivation is like a spark. It's bright, it's intense, but it burns out fast. Real, lasting achievement is built brick by brick with something way more reliable: discipline, effort, and day in, day out consistency. And to really get what that means, let's jump into a story.
All right, so our story kicks off with a young man who poured his entire heart into a dream, only to find himself hitting the same wall over and over again, wondering if all his hard work was just for nothing.
Okay, so let's meet our main character, Moen. He's just 20 years old, comes from a family that doesn't have much, but he has this one huge dream. He wants to be a great runner. His big goal is to get selected for the district sports academy. And for him, this isn't just a hobby. It's his shot at making his dad proud and changing his family's whole future.
And this? Well, this timeline really shows you the tough spot he was in. The thing is, Moen wasn't lazy, not at all. For 2 whole years, he was out there every single morning training his heart out. But the results? Always the same. Second place, third place, never first. Can you just imagine the mental toll of giving it your all every single day and never ever quite getting to the top?
And you know what's even worse? This is the kind of stuff he was hearing from the people around him. Hearing those words from your own friends, especially when you're already downing yourself, man, that is rough. It just plants that little seed of doubt that's so hard to shake. And then it all came crashing down one morning. It was raining, he was out on his run, and he slipped on a muddy trail and fell. Hard. But honestly, the physical fall was nothing. It was the emotional one that really hurt. As he just sat there, covered in mud and rain, 2 years of frustration just came pouring out.
And that's it. That's the thought that just took over his mind in that moment. Maybe they're right. After 2 years of pushing himself to the limit, he was finally ready to give up. He was convinced that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have what it takes. It was a moment of just complete despair.
But right then, just as he's at his absolute lowest, an unexpected encounter is about to change his perspective on everything. This is where the story really turns a corner: the bamboo's secret.
So this old farmer is walking by, sees Moen crying in the mud, and he stops. But instead of offering pity, he just points to some bamboo nearby and asks him this really simple but really profound question. Do you know how long it takes for a bamboo seed to grow?
And the answer he gets is, honestly, it's kind of shocking. 5 years. For 5 entire years, you water that seed, you take care of it, and absolutely nothing happens above the ground. Not a thing. 5 years of pure faith and effort with 0 visible results. See, here's how it works. For those 5 years, all the growth is happening where you can't see it, underground. The bamboo is building this massive, strong network of roots. It's building a solid foundation. And only when that foundation is completely ready does it just explode upwards, sometimes growing 80 feet in just a few weeks. The progress was always happening. It was just hidden.
And that's the line. That's the piece of advice that just flips a switch for Mogan. The farmer looks at him and says, "Son, you're growing your roots. Don't stop now." All that hard work wasn't a waste. It was the unseen, underground work he needed for his big breakthrough.
So armed with this totally new way of thinking, Moen's entire approach just transforms. Let's see how this powerful idea finally leads to his breakthrough moment.
From that day forward, everything was different. He wasn't running to prove his friends wrong anymore. He started running to prove himself right. He got obsessed with the little things, the tiny details, focusing on his breathing, perfecting his posture, mastering his timing.
Okay, so another year passes, a whole year of this quiet, steady, consistent work. And then the big day arrives, the district inter-school race. The winner gets into the sports academy. This is it. This is his moment.
The starting gun fires. You see the other runners just bolt out ahead, but Mon doesn't panic. He trusts his training. He trusts the roots he's been building. He just settles into his rhythm, calm, focused, and steady, exactly like he'd practiced thousands of times before. All right, here we are, the final 200 meters. This is where it all happens. His legs are on fire. His lungs are screaming for air. Every single instinct is telling him to slow down, but he just keeps pushing, staying right in his zone.
And then, in that final push, something just clicks. All those years of training, all that unseen work building his roots, it all comes together in that one moment. His body responds with a kind of power and efficiency he's never felt before, a strength that was being built all along.
He just starts gliding past the other runners one after another until there's nobody left in front of him. He crosses the finish line first. After 3 long years of struggle and doubt, his consistency finally paid off.
So fast forward a few years. Moen's a successful athlete now, and he goes back to find that old farmer to thank him. But the farmer just smiles and gently corrects him, saying, "The strength was always within you. He just had to choose not to quit while his roots were growing."
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? From Moen's journey and this whole secret of the bamboo? It's a simple but really powerful message. Your time will come.
You know, let's think about that word consistency in a new way now. It's not just about doing the same thing over and over. It's the unseen effort, the daily investment you're making right now that's building the foundation for a breakthrough you might not even see coming. Just because you don't see results today doesn't mean your effort is wasted. It just means your roots are growing.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question for you. All that hard work you're putting in, learning that skill, building that business, working on your health, it is not for nothing. You're building your foundation. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what roots are you growing right now?